Hello, it's me again. This is episode 2, Becoming Your Higher Self. Welcome, my friends, to Aslan Speaks. Today I will be talking about becoming your higher self, or becoming the best version of you. Do you want to become your best version? Well, listen to this video, and maybe that might happen, or you might gain some insights. Let's start out with some simple questions. Are you happy with your life? Are you happy with the person you have become? Or is there some room for improvement? In my case, when I started doing this, I realized, hey, I needed some room for improvement. Well, if you're not happy with your life or need some improvement, this episode is for you. Actually, this episode is for all. We all, as human beings, have room for improvement in some shape or form. That's right, some shape or form, we have room for improvement. But how do we become our higher self or a greater version of ourselves? How do we do this? It starts with a willingness to change. Are you ready to change? If so, here you go. There's an old saying out there that people can't change. Well, I beg to differ with that statement. People can change if there is a willingness to do so. It's just some people don't want to change. They're stuck in their old habits. There's an old saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. There's a hidden meaning behind this saying. It means you can't force somebody to change. They have to be willing to do this on their own. That's right. You have to be willing to change on your own. Forcing somebody to change is a plaguing problem in our modern day society. We're all guilty of trying to force our idea or belief on somebody. We're all guilty of trying to make somebody to be a certain way. Or mold that person into a person that you want them to be, instead of letting that person find their own way. You have to let somebody find their own way. Here's a very important thing. Ready? You have to let people find their own way. Do not force your idea how they should be or what they should become. Because that only makes things worse. Yep, it makes things worse when you force things on people who are not willing to change. You got to let them willing to do it on their own. This happens often in romantic relationships. One of the partners in the romantic relationship try to force or mold their other half into changing. But this actually drives their romantic partner away. This has led to many breakups. Has this ever happened to you, where you try to force your idea or opinion or change onto your romantic partner, and instead of them taking it as a positive criticism, they took it badly and ended up leaving? You have to let your romantic partner find their own way. You should not force anybody to do anything against his or free will. There's a secret to the universe, free will. You can't infringe upon it. But if that romantic partner wants to change out of his or her own free will because he or she wants to become better, then good for that person. Good for you if you want to change. So as I stated before, you have to have the willingness to change. Do you want to change? Do you want to become your greatest self or your highest self? Do you? If the answer is yes, then I will explain the steps on how to become your highest self. Haha. Step 1, deciding on what to feed your soul. What? Feeding my soul? I don't understand that. Yes, people, you have to feed your soul. Do you want to feed the light within yourself? Or do you want to feed the darkness within yourself? You may be wondering, what does this mean by light and darkness? You can look at light as positivity, and you can look at the darkness as negativity. The light is all the positive aspects of yourself, such as being a good and kind person, giving to others, helping those in need, being loving and compassionate, choosing to live a healthy lifestyle, being selfless, Do you have any of those traits in you? Then you have light within you. The darkness is all the negative aspects of yourself, such as being selfish. Are you selfish? Are you mean and bad-tempered? Do you take from others often without giving back in return? Not helping people even if they have helped you? Not being loving? Living an unhealthy lifestyle? Consuming drugs and alcohol? And giving into your addictions? The list can go on. Do you give into your addictions? I'm guilty of it. I have many addictions and I've failed in the past and I have given into them. But becoming your higher self, you're learning to get rid of all addictions that don't serve your highest potential. Well, all these aspects of light and dark within us, it's up to you what path you choose. Do you choose the path of light, meaning the service to others, or do you choose the path of dark or darkness, meaning the service to self? Now, I have to put a disclaimer or a warning. This video might trigger you. It might stir up things in you. If this is happening, it might be a good thing, because this video is helping you dive deep within yourself to truly see your strengths and weaknesses. Do you have strengths and weaknesses? The goal to becoming your highest self is to truly look within yourself. To look at parts of you that serve your highest self and look at parts of you that doesn't serve your highest self. Do you have any aspects of that in you? Do you have things that are positive towards you, or do you have things that are not so positive that you need to work on? A good way of looking within is meditation. That's right, my friends. My favorite word, meditation. If you're wondering about meditation, check out my video on meditation. It's on this channel. So what do you want to feed your soul? Do you feed your soul more light? Or do you feed your soul more darkness? Step 2. Know that becoming your best version of yourself doesn't happen overnight. That's right, doesn't happen overnight. So go with the flow. Don't beat yourself up if you fail, and resort back to your old habits. It takes time and a lot of trial and error in order to find your path to becoming your greatest self. That's right, my friends. I struggle with it all the time. But the key is not to beat yourself up. When you fail, you fail. But get back up on your feet and keep running again. So to speak, the running metaphor is running in life. Failure is just one step closer for you to be successful. Step 3. If you made it to this point, I'm assuming you're trying to become your highest self and you have chosen to feed your soul with the light. So at this point, the person has to start reprogramming their mind or reprogramming themselves. This means starts removing all the negative aspects, such as negative beliefs or ideas and even emotions from your being. You do this by rejecting those negative aspects of yourself and start replacing the negativity with positivity. Here's an example of this. Maybe your whole life you were told you were ugly and not good enough. And somehow this thought has stuck with you and you came to believe it. Well, if you have to take this idea or aspect of yourself and remove it. Yes, you have to take this thought or idea and remove it. Replace this with, you are beautiful and you are good enough. Step 4. Choose to do positive activities. That's right. Choose to do positive activities. Choose to do things that feed the light within your soul, such as going swimming or walking on the beach or being in nature. Choose not to do activities that lead you to become your lower self, such as getting drunk all the time. Have you been guilty of this? Have you binge drunk more than 3-4 days a week? Also, choose not to do drugs. Choose not to give in to your addictions. Learn to remove all addictions that don't serve your highest or greatest self. I have been guilty of this. I used to smoke pot a lot. And I used to smoke it every day. Now, as I took the path of enlightenment or becoming the best version of myself, I don't smoke pot anymore. Step 5, surround yourself with like-minded people. Surround yourself with positive, loving people that only want to build you up, not break you down. Choose not to hang out with people that always bring you down. Choose not to hang out with people who encourage you to do drugs or get drunk all the time. We have all had certain friends in our life who always tries to knock you down a peg or two, right? Have you had a friend like that who knocks you down a peg or two every time you meet them, trying to get you on their level? They try to corrupt you in order to get you to your lowest nature. You see examples of this at clubs, when certain people encourage you to do drugs or get drunk. Then when you give into those drugs and alcohol, you tend to do things that you wouldn't have done if you were sober. And then you wake up in the morning like, man, I can't believe I did that. And you feel bad. You're like, why did I do that? But you gave into your addictions, which by being on drugs and alcohol lowers your vibrational frequency and gives away your willpower, so to speak. So choose wisely the company you keep. Start removing anybody of your life that doesn't serve your highest interest or highest self. Step 6, start to make better decisions. Yes, that's right. Make better decisions. Choose positivity. Choose to do good things. Don't choose decisions that will lead you to your lowest nature. Make decisions that will move you forward in life. Don't make decisions that take you steps and steps and steps backwards in life. Step 7. This is my opinion, and not everybody has to go with this opinion. But find God. Find Allah or whatever you believe in. Start going back to church or start praying more. Become more spiritual. Learn to look within and start listening to your highest self, also known as your soul. Start listening to your soul. So here you go, guys. Here's another secret. You ready? Your highest self or your soul speaks to you. But you have to awaken yourself up enough to listen to it when it speaks. Are you awake enough to notice when your soul or your higher self speaks to you? I call it spirit. When I wrote this script for this video, spirit or my higher self was helped guiding me to write this. You may be wondering, how do I know when my soul or highest self is speaking to me? Well, have you ever had a gut feeling? What, a gut feeling? Yes, a gut feeling. Or that all-knowingness in your gut about something, and some call it intuition. Intuition is when your higher self or soul is speaking to you. Choose to listen and follow its instructions. For often when a person goes against their gut feeling or intuition, not so good things happen, or you miss out on opportunities. It's happened to me many times where I get that gut feeling or that all-knowing in my belly, and I'm like, I push it off to the side and ignore it. And then something bad happens. And then I'm like, man, I should have listened to that gut feeling. Well, that's your soul speaking to you. And when you become your higher self, you learn to listen to that more and more daily. And then miraculous, amazing things happen. Doorways seem to open up. Synchronicity happens. So many awesome, wonderful things happen when you start to listen to the voice within, your gut intuition. So, I want to end this with this. Becoming your higher self or greatest self starts with you being a loving and caring person. Look within yourself and become the change you want in life. Let me repeat that. Become the change you want in life. You already know your strengths and weaknesses. You already know what you need to change. It is up to you. Yes, that's right. It is up to you. Yes, you. I'm pointing at you. It's up to you to change. Do you want to change or not? It's up to you. It is up to you if you want to learn from your mistakes in life. Turn those mistakes into life lessons and become a better person. I don't have all the answers, my friends. I'm not a guru. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a priest. I'm just an average human being. So all I have to say is this. Find what works best for you. On the path to enlightenment, each person has to find their own way to that path. Yes, find your own way to that path. It can't be just shown to you. You have to find it yourself. Do you want to find the path to enlightenment, start searching. Find it within yourself. With that, thank you, my friends. Once again, become the change you want to be. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. We'll post something right there. Like and subscribe. Also, there will be more videos to come. God bless you, and amen.